Good evening and welcome to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is the Sports Block, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza in Cary. I am Ryan Magnuson, and I am joined by Ryan Grover over there on the left, and of course, head coach Mike Castellano. Guys, how are you doing tonight?
Good.
So Middle Creek is coming off a 35-14 win over Holly Springs last week. That moves the Mustangs to 6-2 and an undefeated 4-0 in the conference. Coach, that means we're alone atop the conference at 4-0. So how big was that win for the guys?
It's a big win for us. A lot of people say you're undefeated. They think you have a fat lead in. Sorry.
No, you good?
I think you have a fat lead in the division, and really you don't. I mean, it's good to get that win and be the one on top, and kind of gives us a game separation from Panther Creek, Holly Springs, two teams that are very, very good football teams. But we knew, coming in with those guys undefeated back-to-back, we wanted to do everything we could to get those W's.
Right. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into some highlights and check out the game from last week.
The first highlight you're going to see here is actually the first play of the game. This is something that we designed last year as an onside kick to the right. If you look, they have an offensive lineman on the bottom of the screen. We saw him leave early, and you'll see that kick placement there is perfect. We work it every day, trying to get it at 11 yards where we actually catch the ball. And Rubino does a great job, and Isaiah Herring does a great job recovering it. The second highlight we have here is going to be a touchdown pass. It's 7 plays later after the onside kick. It's the 8th play of the game. We throw it backside here to Deontay. Brant makes a good throw, and obviously we take a 7-0 lead. When you watch a tight copy here, you're going to see what Coach Bordeaux did with the offensive line. He has them influencing opposite way of the play. They're working to the left, and we're throwing the ball to the right with our tackle trying to get out in front. The next play is going to be a play here. They try to run the option. Our defensive end does what we coach them to do. We have Tom supposed to play the quarterback in that situation. The pitch man taken by T. White, and obviously the ball ends up on the ground, and obviously it's a big tackle for a loss that put him behind the chains. The next play you're going to see here is going to be a fumble recovery on the reverse. Every week, Holly Springs had a huge reverse that either scored on or gained over 45 yards. We worked it all week. You'll see Tom's in position at the right outside backer to make the play. He actually ends up getting a recovery, but you can see here number 38 to the right. We recognize the reverse. He squeezes, sees it, works for the reverse. Ball ends up on the ground. He ends up with the recovery, and that leads to 7 additional points to extend the lead, I believe, to 28-7 before half. And the 5th play here is going to be a touchdown pass to Jay Shore. We fake the screen, make a good throw over the top, catch the ball, obviously, when you're in the open field and score. Coach Howard's back there. That was a long-time coach at Fuquay, and he was talking about this play at the game when he came last week. And he said, he saw it open and saw what we were trying to do and execute. That was a big throw by Brant, good catch by Jay, and Terry Patterson, who's speaking in a little while, who Coach Howard actually coached over at Fuquay, his dad, years ago, is one of the 5 guys giving us great protection back there at right tackle.
So do we know what the record is for onside kicks attempted or recovered in a season? Are you tracking that too, or is that just
multiple
just
records?
a punt thing?
Well, I asked Coach Wilkes the other day, and I said, we're talking about this block kick record. I said, who holds the state record for most recovered onside kicks in a year? And we kind of made a joke, and I said, well, probably nobody else is stupid to do it 5 times in 2 games, so it's probably not ever tracked.
Or maybe for a team that's undefeated in the conference, because usually, if they're going to be onside kicking that many times, they're probably down. But, this is a different strategy. So, but Holly Springs came into this game. They had scored 48 points in back-to-back games coming in. So how proud are you of the defense?
Well, we came up with a unique scheme, and I've never actually utilized this before. I was telling Coach Howard, we actually created what we wanted the kids to do in certain formations, and we told them to check it based on what we got. You say, well, that seems simple. But there was 12 calls on a wristband, and we termed all their formations, and we gave our kids an opportunity to be right or wrong in that situation. And luckily, they did a great job of communicating with each other and being right most of the night.
Are you starting to see a more all-around team effort? I mean, obviously, defense holding the team to under, holding them 2 scores, and obviously getting in the 30s isn't bad either on offense. Do you see a more well-rounded effort from your team?
Well, as all the coaches that have coached here before, every week something different might happen in the game. If you would have told me we were going to hold them to 14, I'd have called you a liar. Our coaches can tell you I was trying everything all week to figure out a way to stop them and not give up 46 points again. But, it turned out our offense did a great job early. Our special teams, we keep track of hidden yards, and we want to be plus 15, was plus 16.59 yards, so we won that battle. Defensively, we wanted to create 3 turnovers, 4 3-and-outs. We created 3 turnovers, 5 3-and-outs. So we did, defensively we wanted to. Offensively, Coach Bordeaux, he wanted to score. I think he told him 40 points. So he came just shy of that. So basically the 3 phases of the game all kind of worked well. But some weeks, offense has got to carry us. Some weeks, defense has got to carry us. Some weeks we won games because we blocked kicks or recovered onside kicks. So it just depends by the game. You hope they all go that way.
Right.
But there's no telling if they will.
So I saw we came out there in the red and the white. Have we seen the last of the black jerseys, or are they going to make a reappearance?
If you come by Friday, you might see black jerseys. Actually, we were wearing the shirts we were wearing for, obviously month of October, breast cancer awareness, were black with pink, so we couldn't wear black jerseys on the sidelines, or our players would go over, they couldn't be able to see the coaches.
Right.
So we made it with red that week because of that.
Gotcha.
Well, the screen pass has been, an effective tool throughout this season so far. What is this team doing to make that an effective weapon?
Well, Coach Bordeaux works it like once a week. No, we rep it probably all summer and spring, probably more than anything else we do on offense. And, a screen is a very simplistic play if you look at it, but what nobody realizes is the receiver doesn't push up on certain screens and block proper, or if the OL doesn't do this or that, or if the timing's off with the quarterback. I mean, it's a play that obviously we hang our hats on. I think we called over 30 of them in the Panther Creek game, but that's what they were giving us. And Coach Bordeaux and our offensive staff decided that's what they were going to get, and give us and have an opportunity to be successful with. It's something that we hang our hat on, though. If you're going to give it to us, we're going to take it and let our kids have an opportunity to make a play.
All right. Well, before we let you go out of here, do you want to just speak a little bit about the player we have coming up?
More time leaving messages for college coaches saying, have you looked at our big sloppy kid's film yet? He's a pretty good player. So we're glad we have him for his junior and senior season.
Right. Well, it definitely sounds like a workhorse. Coach, thank you for joining us. We'll see you later on the show. Guys, you are watching the Middle Creek Coaches Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. This is the Sports Block. We'll be right back.
Ruckus. It's a good time. We've got live music 4 or 5 nights a week. And
my favorite's the food, though. Our menu is very varied. We have great hamburgers, great pizza, great pasta, great sandwiches, great salads. We're famous for our New York style pizza. It's a huge 24-inch pizza with just right on the cheese and sauce. And
all right, enough about the big pizza. Seriously. I sometimes still get a little bit long-winded, and this is a perfect fit for taking care of that.
It's great pizza.
Welcome back to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is the Sports Block, live from Ruckus Pizza in Cary. We are now joined by offensive assistant coach Zach Tenuta.
Middle Creek was a great place to get a start and go from there.
Well, focusing on this team, what do you think, just by, what you've seen over the year, what do you think makes this offense go? What do you think it makes it effective?
I think everything. We got great playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. Coach Bordeaux does a good job of calling the plays, good offensive staff, and we've been executing really well.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you kind of grade last week's performance against Athens?
It looked pretty good to me. What about you?
Yeah, it looked great.
Well, can you just, obviously a lot of the results come from the players on the field, but a lot of it also comes from, the players buying into coaching and what they're taught. Can you just speak a little bit about, this team kind of buying in?
Sure. I think the players have done a good job of buying in. I wasn't here for Coach C's first year, but I know as a former high school and college player myself, when you have a guy coming in who did coach the college level, for guys like this who it's their dream to go play college ball, maybe go play in the NFL, for him to have been where they're trying to go, it's easy for them to be able to buy into what he has to say. And all these coaches here have, experience in playing ball and everything, have been where they are, where they want to go. So it's definitely easy to buy in when you have good coaches and, guys who know what they're talking about.
Right.
So coming up this Friday, can you preview, are there any new wrinkles in the offense for Athens, or are you going to keep that under wraps until Friday?
You just have to stay tuned.
Yeah. All right. We'll leave
Keep
it there.
it under wraps.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Coach, for joining us. Once again, guys, you are watching the Middle Creek Coaches Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. This is the Sports Block. We'll be right back.
Thanks for having me.
Ruckus. It's a good time. We've got live music 4 or 5 nights a week. And
My favorite's the food, though. Our menu is very varied. We have great hamburgers, great pizza, great pasta, great sandwiches, great salads. We're famous for our New York style pizza. It's a huge 24-inch pizza with just right amount of cheese and sauce. And
all right, enough about the big pizza. Seriously. I sometimes still get a little bit long-winded, and this is a perfect fit for taking care of that.
It's great pizza.
Welcome back to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is the Sports Block live from Ruckus Pizza. We are now joined by offensive lineman / defensive lineman Terry Patterson. Terry, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for letting me be on the show.
Yeah, no problem. Your coach gave us a little background on you before you came up here, but if you could start off by talking a little bit about yourself.
I like to think of myself as like a hardworking player, a team player. That's what I'm gonna be known as a hardworking player.
Well, how's it feel to be, famous on Football Friday? I saw your face on there with the sack. If you could just run through that play for us, if you remember it.
You do, don't lie.
Well, I know you run a lot of plays, so.
Yeah, I blew past the guy and I saw the QB, so
just attack.
Dove him.
So, what has the learning curve been like for you, going back from offensive line to defensive line, and then the different schemes?
You just got to study the plays every time you got to watch the film whenever you get time to, and you just got to study.
You mentioned it briefly, but what are the things that you kind of focus on? Obviously, you're on the field almost 100% of the time. What do you focus on while you're obviously going through a grueling 3.5 hours?
Just cardio. You got to keep on going. Like that's what I try to focus on is just cardio. If I can.
You want to go through one of your workouts?
No, I was just talking about practice.
Okay.
Practice every day.
So, what's in the future plans for you after Middle Creek?
Hopefully I can go on to play college. I want to go somewhere out of the state, but
want to get out of here? This is the Sports Block live from Ruckus Pizza. We apologize for the temporary delay there. We are now finally joined by head softball coach Robbie Wray. Coach, we've been waiting for this session for a while now, so we appreciate you joining us. If you could just start off by telling everyone a little bit about yourself, your history at Middle Creek, and your coaching philosophy.
Well, I started at Middle Creek when we opened in the fall of '02, and been involved with the softball program ever since we opened the doors there. And we built a pretty good program and got things going in the right direction.
What do you think your keys have been through all these years? I mean, you've had some pretty great teams, and it's been over the course of since '02. So what do you think the keys have been?
Well, we've been blessed with a lot of softball talent in our area, number one, and I'm very fortunate to surround myself with good work, good help. Got guys that got my back every time, and I got theirs, and we all work together as a team. So we've been very fortunate.
So how is the talent level heading into this year? Is it still high?
Well, we were just talking up here. You guys were with us in '08 when we had that big run, and this team has the ability to surpass what that team did. Remains to be seen in the spring, but we've got a lot of talent.
Yeah, that's big.
Well, we're in the fall right now, heading into winter. What do you have going on as far as practices and workouts? What do you have going on right now?
Well, we've been doing workouts a couple of days a week, but next week begins the winter sports period and a dead period. So the month of November we'll be off, but we'll pick back up again in December with our workouts and then carry it right through June, hopefully.
Yeah.
So with such a talented group and the prior success that you've had, is the goal to get as far as you can? Is it a state championship, or do you set smaller goals and kind of take it from there, or what do you do?
Well, we typically start with small goals such as winning the conference. Then when we get into playoffs, it's a one-game season. So we just tell them it's a one-game season from here out. We just want to go 1-0. Obviously, with the ultimate being playing in the Final Four and for a state title.
Well, you spoke briefly about that 08 season when we did make that Final Four, but is that something like that, getting that close? Are you able to learn from it and take something from that, or is it just a year-by-year basis, a team-by-team basis?
Well, we certainly learned a lot that year. It was a great learning experience for us as coaches. The difference is the kids now haven't experienced it quite that far. Last year we had a run to the fourth round and almost got there. So they got a taste of it, and we're hoping that taste made them hungry for this upcoming year. We'll see.
Well, you've had a lot of good moments, great moments as the head coach of the Mustangs. What's your favorite moment so far? Is it something on the field? You've also had celebrated players. You're putting in another 2. You already have 1 in the Hall of Fame. You're putting another 2 in this year. What do you hang your hat on most?
Well, last Friday we just had an alumni cookout we do every year, and to see all the old kids come back and the connection they still have with me as a coach, with our program, and supporting us at games, to me that's what means a lot, because they've invested a lot in us and we've invested a lot in them. We really call it our family cookout.
Right. Did my invite get lost in the mail?
I
told the sports block guys, and whether they passed it on, I don't know.
I mean, because I was on that run too. I was at every game. All right.
Does that answer your question?
Thank you for your time, Coach. Once again, guys, you are watching the Middle Creek Coaches Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. You're watching the Sports Block. We'll be right back.
Thanks, Coach.
Ruckus. It's a good time. We've got live music 4 or 5 nights a week. And
my favorite's the food, though. Our menu is very varied. We have great hamburgers, great pizza, great pasta, great sandwiches, great salads. We're famous for our New York style pizza. It's a huge 24-inch pizza with just right amount of cheese and sauce. And
all right, enough about the big pizza. Seriously. I sometimes still get a little bit long-winded, and this is a perfect fit for taking care of that.
It's great pizza.
Welcome back to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is the Sports Block live from Ruckus Pizza in Cary. And we are now joined by senior softball player Lauren Panella. Lauren, thank you for joining us tonight. And if you could just start off by telling everyone a little bit about yourself, both on and off the field.
I'm a senior at Middle Creek. I play third base. On the team, I see myself as a leader, I guess. Yeah.
When did seem to ask most all the players this, but when did the sport of softball kind of stick and you found yourself being committed to this game?
Well, I started playing when I was really little, probably when I was like 5. And ever since, I've just loved it so much because it's always been in my family. And probably in middle school is when I realized that I really loved it and I wanted to do it until I just couldn't do it anymore. But I really love softball a lot.
So what kind of things are you working on in the off season right now, gearing up for this season?
Well, we have workouts twice a week, and we work out in the cage, and we just go in our own time and stuff. because we only get to work out twice a week, which isn't really that much. But
What type of things does Coach Wray do to get you guys ready for the upcoming season?
We have a lot of team bonding stuff. We had the cookout this past Friday, and we're actually a really close team, so there isn't really much that he needs to like encourage with the team because we're all pretty close. But yeah.
Well, if you want to talk about this year's team and what you think you guys are able to do.
We have a lot of potential. We lost a couple of seniors from last year. I think we lost 3. And so we've got some spots to fill, and some people are really going to need to step up. But I think we're going to have a really good team this year, and I know we can make it pretty far. So I'm hoping that's what we do.
And you have any plans for after graduation?
No, I don't actually. I just plan to finish out strong my senior year.
Cool. Well, Lauren, thank you for joining us. Once again, guys, you are watching the Middle Creek Coaches Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. You're watching the Sports Block. We'll be right back.
Thanks, Lauren.
Thank you.
Ruckus. It's a good time. We've got live music 4 or 5 nights a week. And
My favorite's the food, though. Our menu is very varied. We have great hamburgers, great pizza, great pasta, great sandwiches, great salads. We're famous for our New York style pizza. It's a huge 24-inch pizza with just right amount of cheese and sauce. And
all right, enough about the big pizza. Seriously. I sometimes still get a little bit long-winded, and this is a perfect fit for taking care of that.
It's great pizza.
Welcome back to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is a Sports Block live from Ruckus Pizza. We are now in our final segment of the show, once again, with head coach Mike Castellano. Coach, this Friday, Athens Drive at home. They come into the game 4-4 overall and 2-2 in the conference. This is the first time that we'll have back-to-back home games this season, I believe. Is that nice?
It's definitely nice to play at home. It was kind of weird. The last game we had at home, we hadn't been home in a while, and we're looking around at each other and saying, hey, what are we supposed to do now to kill this time before we take the field? But, hey, if you can win on the road, it should be easier to play at home. And obviously we love our crowd. We love our student section and parents and do a great job supporting us. We do have to get our sound system a little louder. We went to Panther Creek and left with headaches, and ours was a little quiet. I talked to our AD about it. He said, well, Coach, some of those houses over there complain. I said, I don't care if they complain as long as we win. So, but we're excited to play at home, and obviously it's a big game. We do play a conference team, and the next one's always the most important. But Athens Drive, I was talking to our AD on the way here, and he said, Coach, I didn't want to alarm you, but these are the guys that scared me the most because they're the most athletic you're going to play the rest of the year.
Oh, wow.
And that was his point of view on it, but they are a very athletic, good football team.
Well, if you could just scout them real quick for us, what type of things does Athens do well and bring to the field?
They've got a huge offensive line. One of their guys, I believe, is 6'5", 330 pounds. Their tailback, Lynch, everybody in the conference knows him. He's a really good football player. He's a good downhill runner. They have a really good scheme. They're trying to do some things now, throwing the ball a little bit more and running the screen game. Defensively, they've got a bunch of athletes, and Coach Bordeaux has been working all week trying to come up with a scheme to get some points on the board against them.
So we heard a lot about from softball about an alumni cookout. I have to admit, that sounds pretty good.
See, I love you guys because you guys have great jokes and personalities, and you just started to volunteer, and I accept to start an alumni football dinner. Everybody hear that? Ryan is starting an alumni football dinner.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All out of pocket, huh?
Yeah. It's all on my credit card. Yep.
I'll tell you what, there's a reason Coach Wray is a Hall of Fame coach. He's done a heck of a job there, and I enjoy talking to him because he knows a lot about the game of football, has coached football, obviously does a great job with softball, and now he's going to start a football tradition through you. So I do appreciate Coach Wray bringing that up.
Well, Coach, injuries have definitely been a constant in this team. You had a recent injury to your backfield. What do you expect to see in the run game?
Well, like always, the run game starts first with the offensive line. Coach Bordeaux does a great job of game planning and what we want to attack. And those guys up front, if they can block for us and create holes, sometimes the holes they create I can almost run through. But obviously running back is very important. And, in our situation, we've had some injuries, but we've had them before. We don't focus on the injuries. We focus on the guys that we have. So we have some very capable guys, and we're excited about them. And the ones we have healthy are the ones that will play.
Any expectations for this Friday?
I'm hoping we'll show up. I'm hoping Coach Bordeaux picks the right uniform color to wear, and hopefully we do well in the game. That's all my expectation ever is.
All right. Well, before we let you go, we do have a Twitter question. It's actually from my mother. She wants to know why you always seem to crack about my weight.
I apologize to your mother. It's because you take after your father.
Motivation.
Well, Coach, always a pleasure, and good luck on Friday. Once again, guys, you are watching the Middle Creek Coaches Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. You are watching the Sports Block. We'll see you next time.
Your mom really asked that. No. He was like, no.